And it just goes to show that all of us who have been speaking out about this and saying, like, it doesn't seem like you guys are giving Caitlyn, you know, the kind of props that she deserves for bringing all these eyeballs and, you know, the Caitlyn Clark effect that we talk about, viewership, money, all of those things. All of the people who were shouting this for the entire WNBA season, this is an instance where we are...
What many people don't realize is that Caitlyn Clark's rise in the sports marketing space didn't kick off with the viral Nike commercial that later dominated the internet. That moment actually arrived much earlier, in a low-key, almost overlooked State Farm ad that slowly became a major shift for women's sports marketing. At the time, she was still playing at Iowa, known as a college superstar but far from the worldwide icon she is now. However, once that State Farm commercial aired, something remarkable stood out. Caitlyn didn't come across as a tense student reading a script. Instead, she carried herself like a seasoned professional who had been starring in national campaigns for a decade. Her confidence, on-screen control, and natural delivery felt smooth and effortless, and major brands took notice right away. The numbers didn't simply rise, they absolutely exploded beyond expectations. That single commercial managed to outperform full-scale WNBA Finals marketing campaigns, sending a clear message to every major brand paying attention. It became obvious right away that Caitlyn Clark wasn't just an athlete appearing in advertisements. She was a full-blown marketing powerhouse hiding in plain sight. From that point on, the world's biggest companies began quietly lining up their strategies. Nike, Gatorade, Wilson, everyone wanted access to Caitlyn's star power. And inside high-level meetings, one question kept repeating itself: how do we land her? However, as her popularity surged at lightning speed, Nike suddenly found itself under unexpected pressure and growing scrutiny. Supporters of women's sports and longtime advocates soon turned their attention toward Nike, openly criticizing the company for remaining quiet on issues that directly affected female athletes. The viral Dear Nike campaign amplified those frustrations, publicly accusing the brand of speaking about empowering girls and women while failing to actually defend them when it mattered most. As the backlash intensified, pressure continued to mount. People everywhere were waiting to see whether Nike would finally take a stand or continue avoiding the moment. Nike's response arrived through a commercial that was visually powerful, emotionally loaded, and released at the perfect time. It didn't just answer critics, it shut them down completely. This latest Nike x Caitlyn Clark ad wasn't merely another spot, it was a bold statement of intent. The commercial began in complete silence, set inside a dark locker room where Caitlyn sat completely by herself. She slowly tilted her head upward, gently opened one eye, and the internet instantly erupted in shock. At first, many viewers thought they were seeing a CGI snake eye, a glowing, reptile-like pupil hidden in the shadows. Fans replayed the clip, paused the footage, zoomed in close, and enhanced the frame to break it down. What they uncovered sent massive shockwaves across social media. It wasn't a snake eye at all. Embedded subtly inside her pupil was the iconic Kobe Bryant Black Mamba logo. That single frame transformed into a powerful symbolic moment, the most relentless competitor of a generation silently passing the torch to the next. That brief shot alone sparked millions of reactions worldwide. Even people who had never tuned into a single WNBA game started flipping that exact frame into fan-made edits, wallpapers, slow-motion breakdowns, and viral clips. Comment sections quickly flooded with reactions like, "This is the coldest shot Nike has dropped in years, and she's not the future, she's the present." Nike wasn't simply marketing Caitlyn at that point, they were officially crowning her. And that moment took place within just the first 10 seconds of the ad. From there, the commercial completely shifted into full Super Bowl energy. Caitlyn shared the screen with Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Sha'Carri Richardson, and other elite women who represent ambition, power, and dominance across their sports. The voiceover wasn't gentle or motivational. It was bold and confrontational, directly challenging every criticism, every doubt, and every limitation girls are told to accept growing up. "You'll be told you can't do it," the narrator declares. "So do it anyway. You'll be told you can't win, so win." The commercial landed with force, speaking straight to the viewer. "You're told you can't break records, you can't be different, you're not meant to lead, so go lead anyway, loudly and without fear." Every visual, every line of dialogue, and every athlete reinforced the exact same message: try to stop us, because it won't work. The timing couldn't have been better. The energy was undeniable, but the viral wave that followed kept circling back to one person, Caitlyn. While every star in the ad delivered real impact, her moments felt like a clear spotlight, a signal that she wasn't just another face in the lineup. She was emerging as the face of the entire movement. The proof came fast. Within hours, the ad pulled tens of millions of views, sparked thousands of edits and reaction videos across every platform, trended in multiple countries, and was ranked by marketing research firms as a top-tier, Super Bowl-level spot for emotional power and social influence. For a rookie in her first professional season, in a league that had never seen attention at this global level, it was unreal. And yet, the Nike ad was only one chapter in a much bigger story. Caitlyn had already been quietly reshaping every brand she partnered with. Gatorade featured her in campaigns that sold out water bottles, towels, and merchandise within days. Wilson soon dropped special edition basketballs stamped with Caitlyn's initials, and they sold out almost immediately, turning into instant collector pieces. The CC monogram, which some people laughed at online when it first appeared, quickly evolved into one of the most in-demand symbols across apparel, posters, and merchandise. Kids started showing up to school carrying Caitlyn-branded Gatorade bottles, while Wilson basketballs featuring her signature design began flooding resale markets. The data told an undeniable story. Every brand associated with Caitlyn saw the exact same trend repeat itself: viral content, exploding sales, massive search spikes, and engagement numbers rarely seen in women's sports. In marketing terms, this is known as the conversion effect, not just attention or views, but real consumer action and purchases. At that point, Caitlyn Clark had solidified herself as the most dominant marketing force women's basketball had ever seen. To brands, she wasn't just buzz or hype, she was guaranteed revenue. Fan reactions pushed that reality even further. Scroll through the comments under the Nike commercial and you'll see thousands of people admitting this was the first WNBA-related ad they had ever watched, the first Caitlyn jersey they had ever purchased, or the first time they bothered to check Indiana Fever highlights. Many openly confessed they were now following the WNBA solely because of Caitlyn. That level of influence is exactly what brands chase, someone capable of turning complete outsiders into paying fans with a single ad. And right in the middle of this marketing surge, the WNBA stood by as Nike, Gatorade, the LPGA, Wilson, and nearly every major sponsor around her moved faster, spent smarter, and capitalized on Caitlyn far more effectively, and far more aggressively, than the league itself. The reality became impossible to ignore. Caitlyn wasn't benefiting from the league's momentum at all. The league was being carried by hers. At this moment, Caitlyn Clark stands larger than the WNBA itself, and brands everywhere are treating her exactly that way. But the real transformation wasn't limited to social media timelines or corporate boardrooms. It was unfolding in living rooms, classrooms, sporting goods stores, and among millions of casual viewers who were meeting Caitlyn first through advertising, not live games. People who had never shown interest in the WNBA suddenly started watching Indiana Fever highlights simply because they recognized Caitlyn from a Nike ad. Middle school girls began asking their parents for Wilson basketballs with Caitlyn Clark's name on them, marking a cultural shift that went far beyond the court. College students were actively looking up Caitlyn Clark's shoe release dates. Brands weren't simply featuring her in campaigns, they were shaping culture around her persona. That's a feat the WNBA had never achieved for any of its stars, no matter how exceptional they were on the court. What amazed insiders in the industry was how effortlessly Caitlyn handled it all. She never appeared stressed, rehearsed, or like a cog in a marketing machine. Instead, she radiated a sense of belonging, as if this spotlight was exactly where she was meant to be. The same impression people got from her very first State Farm commercial held true here. On camera, she behaves just as she does off camera, calm, composed, confident, and completely unfazed by pressure. Brands aren't just searching for athletes with reach, they want someone who feels authentic in front of the lens. Caitlyn Clark ticks both of these boxes better than nearly anyone in her generation. Nike's choice to build the entire commercial around the "do it anyway" message was pure genius because it perfectly mirrored Caitlyn's brand identity. She's the player who took shots from way beyond the arc before anyone believed women could make them. She's the one who packed arenas that had long struggled to draw crowds. She's the one shattering records that people once thought were untouchable. And now, she's carrying the visibility of an entire league on her shoulders. The ad didn't simply highlight her skills, it highlighted her mindset, positioning her as a symbol of ambition, defiance, and excellence. That's why it resonated so powerfully with fans. But Nike wasn't the only brand leveraging Caitlin's rise. The LPGA recognized the opportunity and executed flawlessly. They paired her with their biggest star, positioned cameras everywhere, sold tickets, gave fans up-close access, and transformed a simple golf pairing into a multi-sport cultural moment. Fans shared clips of Caitlin signing autographs for children, while broadcasters replayed her swings as if she were Tiger Woods himself. The LPGA didn't simply invite Caitlin, they built an entire event around her presence. And because they treated her like the superstar she truly is, the response was massive. The contrast became impossible to overlook. The LPGA embraced Caitlin. Nike embraced Caitlin. Gatorade embraced Caitlin. Wilson embraced Caitlin. Nearly every major brand rallied around her. Meanwhile, the WNBA often seemed like it was being forced into the modern era on its own terms. Fans noticed it, sponsors noticed it, broadcasters noticed it, and whether the league accepts it or not, the market made its stance crystal clear. Caitlin Clark is currently the gravitational center of women's sports. Ignoring her, or worse, minimizing her impact, isn't just a PR mistake, it's financial suicide. Every viral commercial, every sold-out appearance, and every cross-sport collaboration proves the same undeniable truth. The world has picked its star, and brands are following her lead with their money. The real question now is, what comes next? Nike's latest commercial wasn't merely another ad, it was a clear line in the sand. It sent a message to every company worldwide: Caitlin Clark isn't just a rising rookie, she is a full-blown cultural movement. And movements don't slow down, they grow, expand, and pull more people into their orbit. Her next shoe release will crush sales records. Her next commercial will instantly go viral. Her next endorsement deal won't just be a contract, it will make a cultural statement. Everyone knows it, brands, fans, and even her critics. And whether the WNBA embraces it or not, this new era of sports marketing is already underway, fueled by Caitlin's unstoppable momentum. Caitlin Clark has become the undeniable face of the largest women's basketball campaign Nike has released in years. Gatorade is crafting entire campaigns around her relentless competitive spirit. Wilson has turned her signature into a must-have collector's item. The LPGA is already planning ways to feature her in even more events. Every brand that doubted her a year ago is now racing to secure just one commercial appearance. This is what happens when an athlete evolves into a global brand. This is what happens when advertisements don't just sell products, they ignite a movement. Caitlin Clark isn't simply driving viewership anymore, she's shaping culture, and everyone watching can feel the impact. Every clip, every ad, every interview, every single frame of that Nike commercial sends the same message: Caitlin Clark's rise isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Be part of the movement, watch, follow, and witness history in the making.